I'm going to talk about using online communication tools for public relation, for our public relation activities, and how we can have a effective public relation. Now, it is about, the discussion is about using the online communication, but I'm going to start with going through the public relation very quickly on what is it about before we get to the main topic of discussion. Now, well, in a simple term, we use public relation tools to build a reputation for the company, for the brand, for the products we have got, and developing a positive image for our company and products. It is different from advertising, obviously. Advertising is something we pay for, and it is usually product-oriented or building the brand image. Public relation, it's a way we talk to our public, the company's public. Company public have got, every company has got different publics. Obviously, there is a general public which you want to be in touch with. You got your potential customers, your target audience, as in the advertising we looked before. Then you have got your customers, the people who are using your services. You may want to, obviously, want to talk to them and see what is their experience of using your services. Then there is your internal public, your staff, the member of your organizations. Then there are professionals, people which you are in contact on a trade basis or on expertise. You got maybe politicians as your public, for if you are a big company, energy company, as banking or large international, multinational companies. You obviously would be doing some lobbying and trying to influence new rules and regulation coming up. So there are different publics, obviously talk in a different way with these people, and probably use a different sort of media for doing that. Before going into the online public relation, the public relation versus advertising, there are a number of benefits if you can do it right. One is cost is a lot cheaper, because obviously advertising you pay for, where public relation is somehow you get yourself into the right media without paying for it. Public relation gives you a lot more room to maneuver compared to advertising, which is a limited space, is a very product-oriented usually, where in public relation is articles which would be written about you, interviews you may have on behalf of the company, news releases you will send out, so you got a lot more information to give to people. You can create not only the image, you sometimes want to create a new perception of the company. Let's say you are not a very green company. Let's say you're an energy company and you may be seen or perceived to be a polluter, and you want to have a much more greener image out there. The other thing about public relations is more credible. In a way, people, when they read something in a newspaper or they hear something on the TV or they read it on the internet, they believe it a lot easier. I think it's got 7 times more effective than advertising, or more believable. So it's got a much stronger credibility when you go out. Well, there are disadvantages. It's very hard to measure compared to advertising. You obviously with advertising, you're looking at your sales, or you're looking at the leads come back from that advert, so you know exactly what's going on. Where with the public relation, which is a very soft sell, if you say anything, if you think it's for selling purposes, it is building an image, it is developing a relationship with the audience, and the benefit of it obviously would come within your marketing and advertising, but it's not easy to measure it. Oh, you need specialists, publishers, good writers, almost journalists. You need to develop a relationship with different medias which you are working on. So it has got very specific needs for it. You need to gain access to the medias. You have to get your name into a newspaper in a positive way. You don't obviously want to be mentioned in a negative way. or on the news or TV or online is the same thing. So you need to gain that access. It's not something you pay for, it's something you have to earn it. And something can go wrong, and is unlike advertising, which you can stop it, this one, it may go viral and you cannot do anything about it. So you have to be very careful on what you say, how you say it, to whom you say it, and so on. Now we're going to start with online public relations. So you can read more about public relations and how the job of PR officers done. But looking at online public relation, the same as before. We want to gain visibility first. People have to somehow come across our name and our articles and our videos and our news releases. And we want to convert that to a traffic, a membership, a fellowship, so we will keep these people with us. What we use for it, one of the most effective way, beside your website and your blogs and your Twitters and so on, so is your social media network. Now, before we get into the actual networks, what makes an online public relation critical? You have to say, can you afford not to do it? Well, the answer is no, you cannot afford it. You have to have your online public relation activity designed and planned in the same way as your normal one. Unlike the normal public relation, which you have a news release, you probably send it to a certain audience, or use newspapers and traditional channels to get your information out. The normal one has got a lifespan. I mean, it runs out. The paper is printed today and is out tomorrow. If it's a trade magazines, they have got every month they come out and they're out. So they have to keep at it, and the audience is limited. If I see an advert on TV, or I see a magazine advert, or not advert, advertorial, or a news release somewhere, it's usually I read it and that's it. Maybe the magazine would be read by a couple of other people. Where the online public relation obviously use the natural behavior of the social network, and it can go viral. So you can reach a much larger audience at no cost. You can build a relationship membership in a way that a normal traditional public relation media does not give you a two-way communication, or a way of somebody say, I want to be kept informed. With the online system, as we have discussed before, there is a way for your audience to say, I want to hear more, and communicate with you. It gives also a voice to the public, because I can put a comment on that news release or video I've seen. I can share it with other people, with my network. So that's what it makes it go viral. As your public now can share with you their thoughts and ideas and put comments on your site or on your social media network, they can say, I like it, or I don't like it, or put more comments. You get a feedback, and it will allow you very quickly to adopt your policy, or come up with an answer, or interact with your audience, build a relationship, and we will see that later on. So your public relation, instead of one-way communication tool, become a two-way communication. The other thing about it, you can use a very rich mixed media. Where in a normal traditional media is either print, or a video maybe, or a news release, or an interview on TV, very short one. Here you can have videos, you can have graphics, you can have photographs, you can have text, you can have everything. And you can obviously, it will improve your ability to convey your message. Now, the best practice, public relation best practice, is the same, is not much different from normal one. Be direct in whatever you are saying, and short and to the point. The audience have got certain attention span. You go beyond that, they would just stop reading it or listening to it. Have something, don't just make different sort of content without having something to say, something informative, something which your public wants to hear. So that is very important. It is not just about the quantity, it's about quality. Don't eliminate using jargons and cliches and terminologies which make sense to you and doesn't make sense to public. Use a more public-friendly language. Make sure your logo, your headlines are there. Your headlines shouldn't be more than 80 words. That's not recommended. Your keywords, as before, in any internet activity, you have to pay attention that your content and your keywords are relevant to each other and to your audience, as search engines would pick up on these things. Make sure you have got the relevant links on your website, not too many. You put links or hyperlinks to other pages of your site or to other information to help your audience to move forward, to get more information. Yeah. If it doesn't do that, do not put the links. Your textual, if you're doing a news release, keep it below 500 words. Recommended is around 300 to 500 words. And more than that, it becomes really an article for somebody to read, so you can have a longer article somewhere further down on your website. Now, the pitfalls. Before starting your whole public relation, online publication activity, you have to work on the policy. What is the policy? What are you trying to do? Who are the publics you want to reach? Where are these people? What kind of information they want to hear? And you separate them because you can use different medias, social networks, for different audience. You can, otherwise your channel become too crowded. You cannot have same channel to reach both professionals, lobbyists, interest groups, general public, consumers, and so on. So better to divide your publics and then see what social media would work and start planning on what you want to say and how you want to say it. Now, once you've done that and you start developing content, make sure you don't brag about yourself. It is not an advertising tool. It is about informing people. So don't make it as a self-promotion site, because people very quickly judge you on that and then they won't follow it. Because if they want to see advertising, they see it. So the content has to be rich and informative and addressing the issues your audience want to hear and the problems they have got, or whatever it is that the PR job's supposed to do. Don't be afraid of getting on with the social media. It may look daunting and difficult to do all these things and write articles, make videos, creating content, but that is a public relation job. So it's not, and you will find that this rich media would allow you to use much simpler way of developing content. As I said earlier on, it's not about the volume. It's not about the quantity of news releases and articles and videos. It's about the quality of what you're saying. Are you addressing the issues? We say content is king. It has to be informative. It has to be relevant to that specific public. It should be addressing the issues they have raised. You can use text, you can use images, you can use videos, you can use them in combination. And you can have them one follow the other one. So it's very rich. There is no obstacle in delivering even a very complex messages. Now, when you're making these public relation content, within it you have to give your audience a reason to share it with other friends, with other people within that community. And if you can do that effectively, in a way, you are making your content to go viral, reaching a larger audience than your normal site can do. Because if a member of your public like it and share it, and in their network maybe they have got a few hundred people, and those few hundred people would see it as well. And if they like it, they will share it with their network. And that would really get your message out in a way no other networks would do. Make sure your pages have got facilities for sharing and sharing with friend, or posting it, or say liking it. So you make the content more interactive and allow people to use it, link it to their own social network, being Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and many similar ones. Now, what are the social networks? We're going to look at the 3 of these social networks, the biggest one, but there are other ones as well. So in your planning, when you are setting your policy, you will find out which social network would reach the right public. So once you know your publics, you decide on these networks. Now we're going to look at Facebook first. Now most of you probably are a Facebook user, where you find your friends, you set up a group of people you are in connection with, and you share information and pictures, photographs, whatever. Now, you can set a page for your company, pages for your products, and put your information on these pages. And hopefully what you want to do to attract people to come on your page and read this information and hopefully share it with their network, and also join or become a fan of your page and say, I like it. And if once that happens, whatever you put on your site, if they will be informed. And hopefully they like it, and it would go on their pages and Facebook walls and whatever, and their friends can see it. Content is good. You're getting the audience. They are hopefully sharing it with their friends, and that would propagate through the public. Now, each of these networks, they have got their own algorithms in a way how they inform and share information between the users. Facebook one is called EdgeRanked. Now, EdgeRanked is an algorithm which works something like Facebook. They have a profile of their customer, not only what the customer or members have put on the web, on their pages, that they like this and their activities are so and so, but also their behavior and movement around the web is recorded or somehow is taken on. So Facebook knows their customers, let's say, as good as possible. And then if they come on your page and they like your page or they like your content and move on, and as they share it and they say like it, your content ranking is going up. And as before, the keywords, the content, all have to be relevant. And once it's matching it, it will push your pages, your content upwards. In a way, it will recommend it to the network of your users. It will come up a lot more. If they do something on your Facebook page, it will share it with the network of the users, and it will bring it up and share it with more people. So what you need to do is, as I said, the content to be relevant, keywords to be relevant, give a reason for your audience to share it. And if you do all those right, your edge rank would go up, and so your visibility and the traffic. All the sites, all these social networks or search engines, they all have got their algorithms. Remember, these algorithms are designed to deliver the best service to their clients. So if I'm searching for something, or you want to inform me on my Facebook about something happening, the algorithms are there to make sure the right and relevant information is reaching their audience. So if you do your job for search engine optimization, which is the same technique we use everywhere for our contents, you would achieve that objective. Now, the other network is a LinkedIn. LinkedIn is quite popular, a few 100 million users. It is more of professional sort of network. That's where you put your CVs and information about your education and work experience in. You put your company details in. You put your product details in. And people obviously make networks of friends or professional friends which they know, and the companies, and they can follow each other. And there are groups which you can join, which they would be discussion about professional matters, jobs, and skills. Now, it's perfect to me, as Facebook was very relevant to a general public, I would use LinkedIn for much more specific public. First of all, the internal public, people who work for the company. You can have a company site, which everybody would join it, network. You can have group discussions, which can be close to the staff of the company, so it's a much more secure way of discussing matters which you don't want necessarily general public to know, but you want your internal audience to know. You can not only create groups which can be discussing professional matters or interests which is related to your company. You can also join other groups which you find them relevant, and you can become active in these groups and create more traffic for yourself. So LinkedIn, I use it for specialized sort of publics to reach and to develop a relationship which is not necessarily as sort of colorful, let's say, as Facebook for reaching your audience, but it is very specific to those technical audience. Now, moving to the final part of this discussion, and that is using video. We will look at YouTube in a minute, but the video itself as a type of content to use it. Nowadays, it's very easy to produce it. As you can see, we produce it with no difficulty, with a very simple setup. Because the videos are so rich in a way, you can talk, the body language, you can put graphics and images in, you can put instructions in it. You can say a lot in a very short period of time. It's one of the most effective media I would use, definitely for many things, including public relation. You can use it for product launch, for product demos. You can use it for online adverts you want to create, or for a normal advert. News releases, interviews, and you can just pop it into all your networks. We use YouTube. I would recommend YouTube again because it's one of the social networks which has got a lot of users. It does, although it's a place you put your videos for people to share and to watch it, but also it allows you to create channels, and your channels can have members, people who can follow it. They can put comments on it. So it gives some of that social networking tools to you, which also it gives you very good feedback, how many people have been watching it, how long they have been watching it, and so on. And it can go viral. You can hit the market in millions if you have a very effective video. Also, it will bring you on search engine optimization. Same issue goes with the content and keywords. And also you can share what you put on YouTube in your other social networks. So you can link them together and create a cross flow of the public from one to another. There are many other social networks, smaller ones, a specialized one, which you can look at it, as I said at the beginning, when you set your policy and you set your publics and you identify what are those public needs, then you would define your use of media and where you want to be active. You don't want to be in every social media. It's hard work to do. You need to keep track of these things. You need to communicate. You have to build a relationship. It's not just putting a news release or a piece of video and just leave it. So don't stretch yourself beyond your company or your department capability. You do it in a way which you can manage it, you can interact, and you can keep the communication going. It's not a one-way communication. It is a two-way communication. People put their comments, and they want to hear answers about them. The worst thing is you invite people to put comments and you don't answer them back. I hope you enjoyed this talk. I tried to keep it short, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.